Hi, good evening. This is Tea with Lily, and this time Lily's flying solo. I'm here to talk to you about everything I know about audiobooks. And for those, we're going to go into detail. You can ask me all sorts of questions. But let me introduce myself to those who do not know me. My name is Lily Nada. I'm the author of a book called Work Your Quirks, and it's in print, it's in Amazon, it's on Audible, it's in various places, and I just wanted to share that with you. And also, if you can ask me any questions about that, because I believe that audiobooks are the way forward because of so many other things that are happening. But I can see that we've got a couple of people who are joining, so I won't talk too much as to what I'm going to do. But for those who've joined, please let us know where you're joining from. Hi, Akos, how are you? How are things? Where are you calling from? And thank you for joining. Also, I know it's summer in London. I've even got my summer frock on. I'm so excited. The sun came out today and I'm here, but for those who are here with me, I just want to say thank you for joining me, because I know you would probably want to be out and doing other things and soaking up the sun with your the power of six. I think that's the permission we've been given to meet up to six people. I hope tonight I meet more than six people, even though we're online, because I'm very excited about this topic. So yes, we've got someone from Italy. My Italian connection is always here supporting us. Woo, woo, woo. And we just ask a lot of questions, and I can't see who's joined until the person tells me where they are. So if you tell me where you are, you don't have to give me your name, but you can tell me where you are. And who knows? If I'm in a really, really good mood, and I know I am, I might give away something, something book related. What shall we do in terms of deciding who? Maybe I'll ask a question towards the end, and anybody who can answer it correctly based on what I've said, then they can win the prize, which might be one of my books in a format that is easily transferable. So maybe a paperback, or maybe an ebook. So how about that? Paperback or an ebook? Or let's just say ebook, because nobody wants to go to the post office to post anything. So you get an ebook from me, signed by me. I know how to do those things. And then we can go on. So without further ado, welcome again to Tea with Lily. And we're going to talk about everything to do with audiobooks, from the production to the publishing and to the marketing, to the branding, to all of that, because of course, I can't do anything without bringing branding into it, right? So let's start from the top. Are there any questions, first of all, before I dive into my spiel? Why are you here, and what do you want to know about Audible? If somebody can just type something in and help me to prompt me to go in the right direction in terms of my conversation today. Why are you here, and what do you want to know? What's the top thing that you want to know? You want to leave this conversation with? Because, if we don't have any aims, we don't have any goals in terms of what we want, then yeah, we might just be watching the TV, go on. I think the 6 o'clock news is here, and we don't know whether and what Boris is going to tell us, what's going to happen. But for me, just the fact that the sun is out means that my energy is full. I feel happier. I mean, I woke up this morning in such a joyous mood because the sun was out. And I don't know whether I got the SAD or seasonal disorder. It's SAD. seasonal, some sort of seasonal disorder where when the sun doesn't come out, you're not feeling yourself. I'm sure I've got that. So whatever happens, I just don't feel that great. But then we've all been home for such a long time. That is about time. It's over a year. I think it's a year and 2 weeks in the UK anyway, or in England. Well, we went into lockdown. So, oh, first question. Why should I get an audiobook version of my book? Um, it's I think the reason, and I just go by experience of buying or downloading people's books and not getting the time to read it. And half the time I'm told that it's a brilliant book, but it's still sitting on the shelf up there, waiting for me to open it. But I know that with an audiobook, if I'm cooking, if I'm cleaning, if I'm walking, if I'm running, if I'm in the car, or even I want to shut people out, sometimes you want to just with a headset on and pretend you're very, very busy. And oh, hi Tisha, how are you? So those sort of questions are if I have something in my ears, I can do something else. Of course, you don't have to, and then you don't disturb other people. And by doing that, I find that I read more. I read more because I have the extra time in my ears that I don't have to be sitting there with a book. I don't have to be on my iPad scrolling on my various versions of the book or various formats. So I find the audio version of my audiobook, your audiobook, would mean that more and more people will have access to something that you've created for the world to enjoy. And the idea of having an audiobook means that more and more people can enjoy your book in every format that they can enjoy it. So the audiobook extends the life of the book. And that is why I would recommend that people get an audiobook, an audio version of their book. I know writing a book is one of the biggest things that you could ever gift yourself and the world, right? However, once you've written it, you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired because I have been there. I don't want to touch anything again for a while. Or, if you're somebody that wants to keep going, then you can do that. But if you've written the book, you may think, okay, I've done the audio version, I've done the paper version or the written version, the written word. What is next? And that for me is what is next, because it'll allow more people to engage with your work, more people to enjoy it, and I think it also personalizes it for you in terms of people hearing it, because people hear differently from when they're reading it, and it's sometimes, in my mind, it seems slightly more relaxed. I think when I was growing up. Hi Abigail. Hi Abigail. I'll be with you in a minute. When I was growing up, I was sitting there with a book. So sometimes reading a book seems very like a serious thing for me. Or reading online, it means that I'm working. I'm doing work sometimes. But when I have Audible or audio or something or music, it's a bit like fun. So for me, it's just part of my extension of my relaxation. So Abby says, I love being read to, especially at night. Abby, you're not a baby anymore. When my eyes are tired, yes. Having somebody read to you, you just want to relax, enjoy the sound through your ears, and it doesn't feel like work. So for me, I've just found that I read more because I opt for audiobooks. Abby, in terms of audiobooks, what would you like to know about the process? Because this is a Q&A. Without you guys, I cannot do this solo gig that I'm doing. Yeah, I cannot do the solo gig because you need to give me the questions so I can give you the answers, right? So ask me any question that you want, and I'll come back to you on that. I think I had some questions sent earlier on as well. So, um, oh, the journey. Can you tell us about the journey for changing your book to audiobook? The circumstances, positives and negatives experience. Oh God, and we've got all day. Let me read that question again. The journey of the okay. So the thing was, I had I'd written the book. I wanted a break, but there was something that kept calling me, and the main reason I think that I wrote the book, not I think, was because about a year, 15 months later, my mum said to me, I haven't read your book. And that was the thing that made me realize that if I don't read it to my mum, then I've failed as an author because I've written a book. I've dedicated the book to my mom, and she can't read it because she said her eyesight is not that great. So I started thinking about how I was going to do it, and finding that place, that easy place where everything is in-house for you was very difficult. I spoke to various studios around London. Some were far away, some were not, and some were not too far away. But the costs and the what I was expected to do in order to even go and sit down for an hour of recording was just way off. You know, the timings, how to get to the studio, parking, and you know, unholy hours that I needed to get there. So let's have a look. How much does it cost to hire an audiobook? Is that I'll come back to that in a minute, but let's look at the journey, the positives and the negatives, I think, were that. So the reason why I wrote the book was because I wanted my mom to read it as well as, and then whilst I was thinking about that, I knew there were people that kept asking, is there going to be an audio version? Because we've read your book. We bought your book, but we haven't read it. What's that? You know, the book is wonderful. I've read and then the audio version. And I kept thinking that instead of, I could ask someone else to do it for me, or I could do it myself. There was that option as well. But finding the right person, somebody that you know, somebody whose voice you've met, you can feel their spirit, wasn't easy to come by. I combed the internet, I combed Audible, but it wasn't enough for me. And I remember also that when you go into Audible, in terms of business books and stuff like that, the female version, women who read women who read their own books, or women narrators, are lower in number. I don't know why. And I actually was part of a book club, and a young lady had written a book. A young African woman had written a book, and the person that read the book was a white male. That sort of meant that there aren't enough. We need more female narrators to do that for us, and there are loads of them around. It's about bringing them all to a place where you can just pick, okay, I want A, I want B, but there aren't that many. That why would a man read a woman's book? I don't get it, right? So that was where I was, and the positives was having the audio done at the end. It was a positive bit. The bit that was a bit of a stretch was the production and the post-production, the newness of it, the nuances of it, having to go all the way to the studio at the crack of dawn, keeping fit, doing all that. My breathing, I had to do breathing exercises to make sure that I wasn't breathing heavily over the words. Can you imagine? And things like that. So that meant a lot of hard work. You have to stand. I'm sitting down now, but I have to stand. If I'm reading a book, I have to stand to make sure that my diaphragm and all of that is there. So you have to be physically and mentally ready to have your book on Audible if you're going to read it yourself. So I think Akos was asking, how much does it cost to hire an audiobook? I think she probably means how much does it cost to hire a studio? Perhaps that's it. To hire a studio in London, some of the quotes that I got, it's probably about £125 an hour if you want a studio technician to be with you whilst you're reading your book. So normally what happens is that you're reading, they're recording, they've got their gizmos here and there, but they're also reading the book with you to make sure that you're not skipping words, because you can just skim it and skip words. So the studio, making sure that your voice is at its level and you're not going too low and you're going too high. And if you get tired, they'll tell you stop because you start making stupid mistakes. All of that. So that is how much it costs. Minimum £150 an hour in London to hire a studio with a technician, a good quality studio, and with a technician. Yes, it's very hard to do the audio book, but if you're passionate and you want to extend your brand, you've written the book, you've done I think all the hard work is in writing the book. You don't have to read the book yourself. Okay, so because people have asked me that question so many times, and I do my tea with Lily anyways. I don't mind reading. I had to get used to my own voice, the sound of my own voice, because before I hated my voice, and so I had to get used to it. I had to learn to speak deliberately in order to read clearly. And is it enunciation? There we go. I can't say that word. And to enunciate very well to make sure that the words come out properly. Instead of I'm talking, I'm yabbing along. So those were some of the challenges to speak clearly and to speak with intention. What else? The negative things. It's just putting all the bits and pieces together, because if you're going to pass it on to someone else to do, you need someone to actually, like a runner, project manager, to manage it from the beginning to the end. So you've recorded the book. Somebody else has to clean the audio to make sure that the quality is right. So you need a sound technician to do that for you as well. You need the author obviously has to listen to it and come back with anything that they need changing. So all the audio bits need to be done, and then you, Abigail, Candy, Candy likes to be read to. Oh dear. Yes, Miss Candy. I shall read to you very soon. Thank you and welcome. Thanks for joining. So Candy, what is it? One of the things that we're saying here is that why people are here and what they want to learn. So if there's anything they want me to answer for you, please drop it in the chat box and I'll get to it. I think Tisha on our YouTube channel has asked a question. Will authors get the recorded book in CD or pen drive? Okay. What we're offering here, what I did, and then go back in order to, once you've got the completed recording in various chapters, if you have various options. If you want to go the Audible way and give everything to them to sell for you, you have an exclusive deal with them, with Amazon and their people, and you get a certain percentage of the books. But then in terms of my network and the people, not everybody has access to audiobooks. For instance, I went to Ghana to do a launch, and not everybody has access to that. So what I did, and that is also possible, is to, I know nobody has CDs anymore, please. I know I'm an old woman, but I only did a few of these just for posterity to see that. But that can be done. You can do about just 50, 100 copies just to keep to see, to see that you're a recording artist, right? I am an artiste. If that is not, that is not good enough, because people don't have CDs, or people don't have CDs anymore. Nobody has a CD that I know. You can opt for the pen drive version of the book as well, so you can brand it. We can help you get it branded to the color that you like. Of course, everybody knows I like red, so it's branded red with the name of the book and on my logo on it. I don't know if people can see that, but those are the sort of things that we can do with a book. Who would this service? This is a new service that me and my company and a few good people have come together to offer for people who've written books, who want to go the Audible route and speak to more people, so they have more people in their ears. Also, people who do not have the time and do not have to go through the pain that I went through to get my book onto Audible. We can read it in-house for them. So you give us just give us your book, preferably on, basically normally we require hard copy as well as an electronic copy. In order to do the work, because or we can have, but sometimes the hard copy is the best one because we've got it on paper, and then they'll just leave it for us, and we say give us about let's see, 3 months from start to finish, because there's something called uploading onto the ether, and they can be very fussy, and we don't want to give people we don't want to give our talent, our in-house talent, unnecessary stress by getting them to read day in and day out. They need to sleep, and so we say, if you're thinking of writing a book and you want to launch it in with end of March now, you want to launch it end of June, then that's fine. So we say, give us 3 months so we can do it properly for you, including all the way to the virtual launch. We can handle it all online. And if I'm involved in anything, it will look beautiful as far as branding is concerned. But of course, I'm here to read the books also. My colleagues will also read the books as well. And we will manage it from start to finish. So audiobooks from hard copy, upside down, hard copy to audio is something that I'm excited to say that we're starting from the 1st of April. And if anybody, any publishers, any authors who are thinking of writing their book, no, not writing, they've written their book, it's already on Amazon and it's doing well, and you want the audio version of your book, talk to us. We are at info@linksmedia.com. We'll do it all for you from start to finish, or you can decide you just want the reading done packaged. Not packaged, just give it to you to do the upload. That is also part of the service that we can, because the reading is the meat reading and a clean copy is the meat of the job, because you can't just give it to, it has to be one person's job and they sit with it until it's nice and clean. And well, two people, the talent that reads it, and the studio manager stroke audio technician that can do it. So it's two people's job really. That's that's where the heavy lifting really is. And then we as marketing, oh, I just got a, will you help with marketing? Of course. Even if you don't want me to help you with the marketing, I will do that anyway, because I enjoy helping other people with their marketing to make sure that, the sales are going okay, people are clicking, people are buying, people. So in terms of marketing, definitely, I don't think I can touch something that I don't market, because it's not in my DNA, not to tinker with people's marketing and branding. But yeah. That's it. What other questions came through? Let me have a look. Other question. Okay. I think, would you advise an author or publisher to go for an audiobook? Oh, definitely. Definitely. Because audio, in the last year since lockdown, audiobooks have gone up, but they were going up already before lockdown. And I started my audiobook journey about two years ago, when I had seen that there was a rise in it. And then come lockdown, it's just rocketed with so much, people just wanting to use their credit, or use their credit to buy it, or whether you want it on iTunes, whether you want it on Spotify, all sorts of places. Because you hear of everybody's doing podcasts now, which is fine. But a written book has a different place and a different service, because you're imparting information rather than just having a conversation. So there's a space for audiobook, for podcasts, and there's a space for books. So thanks for the insight. Any offer for male authors? Because it's something that might come up. We're not focusing on male authors right now. If there's a demand, then why not? But a demand from us in terms of our services, by all means, we'll do that. But currently, we're focusing on female authors that have written books around, not necessarily books, there's self-help as well, non-fiction books as well, all of that. We'd love to get our hands on it, or we'd love to get our voices into those books. But for the male authors, by all means, come and speak to us. We might be able to find you the talent that can read your book, unless you want women to read your book for you. We're not going to say no. But all the people that we have in-house here have been carefully handpicked, with great female voices that will speak to your book. If you want a female voice, if you're male and you want a female voice to read your book, why not? But if you're male and you want a male voice, we can always import that talent in. So there's nothing to say no here. Are there any other questions? Let's see. So who were there any other? I saw some questions earlier as well. Let me see if I can get to all of them. But generally, yes. So any other questions from here before we move on to just finalizing the call, the call that we're having now? Is it call? It's a Facebook Live. Would you call it a call? I never know. Yes, I'm talking to you, so it's a call. Are there any other comments or any other questions from here? I can't see any. Um, let's go through the back. Let's see. So Tisha's channel. Thanks for the insight. Let's go to the beginning. Let's look at, let's see if I can find any of the other questions that came through. What else can I tell you about writing, having an audiobook and the value that it brings? Because it's not really, I think the value of having an audiobook is the ease with which other people can enjoy your work. Because if people are reading or listening to you, it personalizes it, the message somehow, and that helps a bit. Also, it moves you. I remember when I first saw that I was on Audible, it took me ages to figure out how, the level of stuff to get there. And it took me ages to standardize everything. And I remember, I don't know how many of you remember when I did the general CD and the book and everything. When I did the launch of the audiobook, it was without Audible, because Audible were putting some bits and pieces. They were just putting spanners in the works, and I had to standardize everything. So haven't gone through that, and I could see my name. I said to myself, I said to one of my colleagues, I can say I am on Audible with Michelle Obama, with Oprah, with Whoopi Goldberg. All of those people are on Audible. Jinaya Sherry, all of those people are on Audible, and I have also arrived. I am on Audible, because I just felt that it's the next level of, whether it's professionalism, next level of your reach, and all of that. And it sort of extends your brand as an author as well. So for me, going on Audible has so many benefits in terms of how you can reach more people, extend your brand, and to hobnob with the rich and famous. You never know when people pick up your book and say, oh, I like that reading, I like that voice. I'm going to pass it on to my mates. I remember a friend of mine called me one day and said, are you watching BBC? And I said, no. He said, you're on BBC. Because somebody said BBC, they're reading it, but I think they put on a nice colored dress or something. And they said, yes, haven't you heard of the book? There's a book called Work Your Quirks, and apparently you're supposed to dress like that. I have arrived. So it's little things like that will extend your brand and make you feel that other people believe in you. Because writing one of these books has something extra. It shows you as the expert in your field, and if you can be the expert in your field to a wider range of people, you're likely to do far better, far more than if it was just in the paper version or the ebook version. So that's me. Are there any final thoughts before I wrap up about this launch that we're doing? We're doing the audiobook and we're going to read, and maybe I should read something. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to get tested here. Maybe I should read someone else's book. What have I got here? Jacqueline Francis's book. Jacqueline. Let's see. I've got Jacqueline's book here. Let me get my specs on. Let me read one bit. Let's look at page 83. Deception. During the next few days, Val received several messages from Jack, all of which she chose not to answer. It was the time she met with Liam. She had kept him waiting long enough, plus the guilt was killing her, and she needed to make a choice one way or another. So that's the voice you'll get. Jacqueline, your book is on Tea with Lily, which is Walk Quiet, Run Quick. And I think the book is about domestic violence. So, Jacqueline, your book. Anyway, so that's what I'll be doing, sitting here and reading like I'm in secondary school. You have to read out loud to people. So, what is the question that I want to ask to give people the soft copy of the book? Yes, we want to hear you read. I just read it. Oh God, I read it. The thing came through late. So yeah, that would be my voice. My other people, the other talent, also have very good voices. One's actually a voice coach who will coach all of us as well as read the books with us. So we're very excited to have her on board. But that's it for now. I will post something. I think Facebook is the place I'm going to go to, or perhaps the YouTube channel on Links Media YouTube channel as well, and post some questions here and offer an ebook for the person that answers the question that which is, how much on the average does it cost to have to hire a studio for an hour in London? I think I've said that already, but if anybody wants to put that here, because to show that they've been listening, that's fine. But I can tell you, and if you want to enter the competition to win an ebook, that's fine. But whilst I'm here, my book, Work Your Quirks, is on Amazon. I've dropped the price because of this. As an ebook, is down at £1.99. So it's less than £2. And if you're going to, if you're still going to the coffee shop, it's less than a cup of coffee. And I wouldn't mention any of the big brands. So pick one for yourself, but I'll drop one in here to the person who gets that question right. How much it costs on average to hire a studio for an hour to read your book. So you have to be the talent, and you also have to hire the studio and read out how much does it cost for an hour to do that. So that's it for now. I'm going to leave you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me on such a beautiful day that I know you can go out. You've got permission, if you're in England, to go out and have fun with up to 6 people in your bubble. So I'm really grateful that you came to join me today. I hope I'll see you soon on other Tea with Lily shows, when I'll have wonderful guests talking about things from all walks of life, because I like to talk. So I'm putting my mouth where my money is. Is that how you say it? My money where my mouth is. Oh, you know what I mean? Yeah. So so that's what I'm doing. I'll come back, come and chat to you obviously soon with another guest. But today I thought I'll fly solo and talk to you about the new project, which is production and publishing of audiobooks for authors who've written their book, or those who are very, very close to finishing, and they've got 3 months to the end, and they want me to help them with their reading as well. So contact me, contact us, info@linksmedia.com, and one of my team members or myself will come back to you and talk to you about your project. I hope this has been informative. And if there are any other questions, we will post an online form that you can fill in, so we can have a look and answer all your queries for you. But I'm very grateful. Thank you very much for joining. And as usual, you know how I leave you. May everything that you wish for be the least that you receive. Look after yourself and be kind too. Bye-bye.